Hi, in this video we're just going to briefly talk about exercises for shoulder therapy. These will be exercises specifically geared towards helping you with the healing and strengthening of shoulders that have been either recently injured or possibly injured long in the past. In my own case, I had my right shoulder dislocated back when I was in my 30s, and that had a lingering effect for quite a few years. Still has an effect today in my 50s. On this side, my left shoulder, I had doing bench presses, I had muscles and tendons torn between my pectoral muscle and my deltoid muscle years ago. And both of those shoulders have had very, very significant and serious injuries that I've had to overcome. And I've overcome those by doing certain exercises and also with a little bit of supplementation, which I don't advertise or talk about supplementation a whole lot, but where it's very significant, I do. And in this case, it has been. What I had to do, particularly in my right shoulder, over the period of years, my right shoulder developed some serious cartilage damage from it being dislocated like that. And of course, I didn't go to the doctor for either one of these injuries. With the one on the left side here where I did all the tearing, instead of going to the doctor, I just duct taped my arm to my side when I had to do anything heavy, and then I would go about my business. It all did heal up, but there were some significant ongoing problems with both my shoulders, and particularly in my right one that was dislocated. Popping and cracking and severe pain to where it became almost debilitating. And I came to a point where I realized that I was either going to have to do something about this shoulder and the condition it was in, or going into my later years, I was going to be disabled in my right arm. So what I began to do was, first I began a supplementation with glucosamine chondroitin. Glucosamine chondroitin is clinically proven through lots of different clinical studies to both do some repair and restoration of cartilage and to certainly prevent further cartilage damage. Glucosamine chondroitin supplements work very well, and they are a significant part of a supplementation program when you're working with injuries and problems with cartilage in your joints. That's not to say that if you've completely wiped out the cartilage in a joint that it will restore it. It won't, but it will help repair it, cartilage that's existing, and it will help prevent cartilage deterioration. So a glucosamine chondroitin supplement is very, very important. I've got one linked to down at the bottom of this page. As a matter of fact, it's a very good one. This is not a cheap supplement. Glucosamine and chondroitin, this is not cheap no matter what. But it is well worth if you have joint problems where you've injured the cartilage or you have to have cartilage restoration or repair. That's a very significant supplement. The exercises we're going to talk about are shoulder exercises designed to strengthen the surrounding muscles around the ball and socket joint that your shoulder is. This will be done without having any direct pressure down on the joint. That means we won't be doing overhead presses. Overhead presses are the standard exercise for shoulder strength, but that puts direct heavy pressure down on the joint and can cause further damage. So what we're going to be doing is concentrating on working the individual parts of your shoulder muscles rather than one big heavy exercise that comes down on the joint. So what we're going to do is work on developing the front deltoid, the side deltoid, and the rear deltoid with exercises that will not put heavy pressure on the joint. So with no further delay, the first one we're going to do, and I'm going to do this with very light adjustable dumbbells. Any of these exercises you can do with adjustable dumbbells. You can do them with standard dumbbells. If you don't have any weights or any dumbbells, you can do it with anything in the house that weighs a little something. If your physical condition is pretty serious and you can't use weights, you don't have to use weights. You can just begin doing the movements until you can get a little stronger and use weights. If you need weights and you don't have anything in your house that you can hold in your hands, will work. Dishes, a couple of bowls, a book, a piece of wood, anything, a brick, anything will help, or anything what you can use that has any kind of weight you can use instead of dumbbells. These are easy exercises to do, and anything that you use that weighs something will be effective. But for the purposes of this exercise, first of all, we'll look at how to develop the front deltoid without direct pressure down on the joint. You do that by a standing front raise is what we're going to do, with your arms down in the front, the back of your hands facing out. You'll simply lift your arms in a smooth motion up just a little bit higher than shoulder level and back down in one smooth motion. One, breathing. not going to sit here and bore you to death by going through whole sets of this, but that's simply an exercise that will work very well. Your front deltoid will develop that front deltoid without any heavy pressure on the joint. You can start out by doing 8 or 10 of those at a time with just your arm if you have to, or with a little bit of weight, and then begin to build up a little bit more weight, a few more repetitions each time. And when you're able to, you can go to a couple of sets to where you're doing more and more of these, and to where you actually have a full workout for your shoulders. So that's working your front deltoid and the muscle around the shoulder joint, again, without putting any pressure on the joint. To work your side deltoid and to build the muscle on the side, we'll simply do some standing lateral raises to the side. You can start with your dumbbells or whatever weight you have in front of you, and a smooth motion up a little bit higher than shoulder level, breathing. And again, doing those in nice, smooth motions. That's a very good shoulder strengthening exercise that will work your side deltoid. So you have 2 exercises there, and if you do them, you can do these exercises one after the other, or you can do a couple of sets of one and a couple of sets of the other. You can do it any way you want to. But that motion should be from here, very smoothly up and down. Don't find yourself doing this. That doesn't solve the problem. That will hurt your shoulder further, and you can hurt your back. Do it and use a weight that you can use a smooth motion going up and down. 8 or 10 repetitions to start with a little bit of weight, whatever weight you can take, and build a slight burn in the side of your shoulder, and just working up as you can. As you get stronger, you can do more reps, you can add a little bit more weight, you can add more sets, but this is a good exercise for your side deltoid. Finally, as far as building your deltoid muscles, the last one you're going to do is to build your rear deltoid. You'll be bending your knees slightly, a little bit further than shoulder width apart, bending your knees slightly, bending over, not completely in a 90-degree bend, but about this far. Dumbbells or any weight in front of you, like this, in a smooth motion. Raising them up to just about shoulder level, to the sides and out, just like this. Again, about 8 to 10 repetitions, just like the others, building up as you gain strength. Those 3 exercises will comprehensively build your entire shoulder muscle, all of this musculature around your ball joint. It will build those in a comprehensive way that will strengthen them and help support that joint and the injury that's in that joint. I've saved probably the one. If I had to choose an exercise that's the most important as far as shoulder injury and mobility is concerned, it's this one. And you can do this with anything. You can start out by doing it with just your arm, and that's just simply circular motions, this right here. Backwards, like this. And as you get stronger and more mobile, you can do it with individual weights, you can do it with a book, or you can do it with a whole dumbbell. If I were forced to only choose one of these exercises that we've just seen here and couldn't do any others, it would very quickly be that mobility exercise right there. When this shoulder became almost immobile, I went out and began at a health club and began to force myself to swim a few laps. I got up to where I was swimming 15, 20 laps in an Olympic pool, and before I knew it, in 3 to 4 weeks, with glucosamine supplements and a little bit of weight lifting to strengthen my shoulders, the pain in this shoulder had almost disappeared, and it was back to almost full mobility. Today, can I feel anything in there? Yeah. But this shoulder is mobile, it's strong, I can use it. I'm 57 years old, and I'm in martial arts. I take martial arts with my daughter. I'm a red belt in Taekwondo. So what you've got to see here is, and understand, is that no matter what condition your shoulders get in because of cartilage and because of damage in the past, you can strengthen and restore your shoulders to full use with the right exercise and supplementation, being faithful and continuing to do it. And by the way, this is not something you get to stop. You don't do it for a while and stop, because the problem will return. This should be part of a comprehensive weight workout and exercise workout routine that you do throughout your lifetime. But that's okay, because that's good for your health anyway, isn't it? So these are exercises to help you restore the strength and the mobility to your shoulders, reduce or eliminate the pain, and repair the cartilage. I hope that this today will make a serious difference in some people's lives that have had shoulder immobility and pain for a long time. Let me know. When you use these, let me know how it turns out for you. If you have any questions, contact me through the forum there. I'll be happy to answer and give you all the help that I can.